election, that check that they cut, posted on the 5th of the 6th.
But it would go into the bank on the 1st, or as soon as you receive it?
It would, as soon as we receive it. We're making deposits every Tuesday and Friday, regardless of the posting. So if somebody drops it off on a Monday or Tuesday, it goes in on Tuesday. If they drop it off on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it goes in on Friday.
Is there a fee associated with having a lockbox set up?
No. I can say normally there is, but because we have so much under management at the bank, they give us everything for free.
So if it went to a lockbox, would it go into our bank account more quickly?
I would say yes, because whenever they receive it, they deposit it that day.
And I assume that the lockbox is no interest paid on that, right?
Well, the operating account, no, but if you guys have, there is a little bit of interest paid on it, but that was all much bigger question back in the day before banks had zero interest rates.
When there was an interest rate paid.
Yeah, even if I had it in a money market, you really wouldn't be getting anything right now just because interest rates are so low. The advantage of the lockbox is clearly what you say, is the money goes in much quicker. Our clients, they like to be able to call here on the 14th of the month before they get fined on the 15th. They like to call here on the 14th and find out if it's posted. So that's why most of them, even when we have the lockbox, still send it here. Because they put it in the mail on the 10th, and they send it here because they don't want to risk if it goes to the lockbox, they get a late fee. So many of our associations then say, well, if no one's using the lockbox, let's just have everybody send it here anyways. Because I would say at each association, our highest lockbox rate is probably 20% at the most. 80% still sent here. So it's not a highly used item.
When you send them out coupons for their assessments, we don't send envelopes, or we send addresses?
We do. We send envelopes with stickers on them, and then they write their own, our address on it, ignore the sticker, and still send it here. And then most people
bring in their coupon with their payment.
Exactly. Most of them walk it in on the 14th and say, "Here's my payment. I'm not getting a late fee, right? I'd like a receipt." And the other issue is many people use their online banking to use their bill pay, and that's where the bank's cutting a check. They still have it come here because they're not using a coupon. And so when you send a check to the lockbox and it doesn't have the coupon with it, the lockbox isn't sure what to do with it all the time. So the first time they do that, they'll get a note back from the lockbox that says, "We got this check from you, but we're not sure where you live. It doesn't have a coupon with it. Can you put this information on it?" And instead of putting that information on it and sending it back to the lockbox, they'll say, "I'm done doing that. I'm sending it to the management company direct."
So obviously having the coupons is cheaper than having a mailing go out. We've had
Clearly.
Several people, over the years, that some of them say, "Oh, I can't find it, I forgot," and this type of thing.
Let me stop you there just real quick and say this. You're quarterly.
Right.
I would say that the coupons and invoicing, having an invoice sent directly to your home is about the same price. With a monthly association, the coupons are always cheaper than 12 invoices. But an invoice here costs you 15 cents for the piece of paper plus 44 cents in postage. So I mean, it's costing you 65, 70 cents for 4 invoices to go out a year, whereas the coupons cost $4.25. So the invoicing may actually be about the same or maybe even a little bit cheaper. And I can tell you this, every single one of our quarterly associations has us do invoices instead of coupons.
I think a lot of people in Meadowbrook always like that too, because it's just like the bill comes in and it's right there. All of a sudden you're going, "Oh my God."
You can see if we have a previous balance on there, because we print them out of tops, probably the same kind of thing that you guys are getting in the mail, and they can see if there's been any activity there or if something is amiss.
And now I notice you also have, it says that in your brochure, something about, you have a website. What is the extra charge for something like that to maintain?
We don't charge anything to maintain the website. That's included in your fees, but the cost that the website provider charges us is what we pass along to you, which is $38. I want to say $37.75 or $38 per month. And we used to be with a company called Association Voice, which is probably the highest end website provider there is. The problem was they charged $110 a month to each association to have a website. So we said, no, let's go out and find the most inexpensive solution we can that's still geared to homeowner and condo associations. And we found the program that we use, and that's $38 a month. It depends on, I think you guys use the websites quite a bit, so I can see your community benefiting from it. We have other associations that don't use the website, but we're paying for it, decided to cancel it because no one was using it. We can track how much, through that service, we can track how much usage you're actually getting and be able to report back to an association and say,
Right,
a lot of
so
people
if nobody's
are.
going on it, then what's the sense of having it?
Exactly, and we can provide that.
Newsletter, do you have any provisions for newsletters or people you work with?
Well, we used to have a lot of newsletters go out 3 years ago. When the economic crisis kind of hit, no one wanted to do newsletters because cost was king. And we haven't probably done a newsletter in close to 3 years now. We have a provision in there. We do charge for the time it takes for the manager to put the newsletter together, and we can print it in full color on our copy machine back here. That's pretty easy and inexpensive. But like, I just don't have a good frame of reference anymore because I don't have the one association that's had us do it. We have a program that we have access to do a newsletter, and it comes with content that is kind of a recipe of the month kind of stuff, and we can make a neat newsletter, but no one wants to do it.
I have a couple of communities that do newsletters, but it's volunteers in the community that enjoy putting those together, and they'll send them to me, or they'll just do them by email now. Joelle will keep a list of everyone's emails, and she'll do it by email to save the cost. But some associations have had someone that just has a knack for that or enjoys putting those together, and it saves them some money.
Okay.
So is that on the website, would they have like minutes of the meetings
I think it's
and
yes.
agenda, board meeting?
Yes.
All that stuff would be on the website.
And we don't charge anything, none of those hourly fees for any of that stuff. That is included in your management contract. I mean, to some degree, it has to be within reason, and we'll all have to decide what's within reason sometimes. But meeting minutes, what's going on in the community, monthly updates, that's within reason to me. Daily updates of, like Sarah becomes a webmaster of some degree to Meadowbrook, I would have to say, well, let's tone that down a little bit unless we're going to do something different.
Yeah, you can't get crazy.
Yeah.
Can we upload the covenants on the website as well?
Sure, yeah, there's room for all of that stuff, and storage on the website's included in the deal.
To upload the covenants on the website.
Oh,
And the forms that we need. We have
Right.
forms right now.
Yeah, all
That's
that.
the most heavily used piece on those websites is the minutes, the rental forms or the ARC forms, the documents. That gets used more than anything else on those websites.
Now, speaking of rental forms and that, is there a way that, do you flag, now we have people that do rent in there, and they're supposed to every year submit another request to be, to have their renters.
If they're gonna extend the lease.
Extend the lease. Now, is there anything that can be flagged on your system that a couple months before that these people need to get a notification that they need
Tops
to?
will do that.
Tops does that.
Okay, because that's really kind of important. All of a sudden, you find that in a second, they're there for another year or whatever, they're not turning in another form or whatever.
Right.
Are you guys doing background checks and interviews on renters?
I think that years ago they wanted to do that, and I don't know if I think they did it for a while, and then it's a little expensive though, isn't it?
Well, I bring it up because we do all of that for all of our other associations. What we do is we charge a fee to the renter or the person who's renting out their unit. We collect that, and we use that money to run background checks for you. And
That's part of this $225 that you're talking about?
Right. I think that's maybe it's on a sales application too.
Sales
where
and
it
lease
runs.
approvals, it says.
If you guys have a leasing price that you normally have, the sales price, I'm pretty much a stickler about the $225 because lately sales have been a lot of work to do them right. But on the leasing side of things, if you guys have an amount that is normal, then we can work within that amount. But normally I put $225.
I think normally it was $100 deposit.
Then it's hard to do. See, the $100 is hard because here's the thing. What you want is you want somebody to do a criminal and a sexual predator background check. Then you want somebody